Ah, you get back in there, you jerk off. You beat the damn champ. I did. I beat this fucking game. I am the new world champion of duck racing. Here is your crown. Hey guys, don't worry, I didn't really throw him in a volcano. I'd like to thank you for watching Duck Month. I think it's been a success.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, hello there everyone. It's the Glitch64 and, you know, 6 years ago, I did my second Let's Play on this channel, the Duck Life Quadrilogy. Well, since then, there's been a new game come out. Well, 2 new games, Duck Life Space and a spin-off Duck Life Treasure Hunt, but in the main series we got Duck Life Space, turning this quadrilogy into a quintilogy? I think that's what that's called. So, join me 6 years on as we go into Duck Life Space and we finish off Let's Play 2, even though we are now on the 9th Let's Play on the channel, I believe. So, let's get straight into it. Whoop. And clear all our save data. Right, so, let's choose our duck. I think a nice green jolly duck. Yeah. Give him some messy hair, no pattern. And we will name him, well, us. Now, Duck Life Space has a story to it. Well, the other game sort of did, but this one brings it more to the forefront. So, our duck is a world champion, and then an alien comes out of a wormhole to take the crown from us. He steals the crown, and then he flies away from Earth. So now it's up to us to race our way back to get him. So, as you can see, we have the normal running, swimming, flying, climbing, jumping, and of course the energy meter that we need. But Duck Life Space, being the 5th in the series, needed to add something. And I like what they added. Also, apologies for drinking some Coke on the recording. I like what they added to this game, and that is, once our duck stops eating seed, intelligence. This is a skill I'll go over when we get to it, but for now, obviously this looks very similar to Duck Life 4, doesn't it? You've got 3 ducks that you have to race, a tawny off in the distance. Instead of a training duck, we now have a training booth, and of course we have a shop. So we're going to go into the training, and, well, let's start with running. Tap the screen to flip gravity, don't run into any walls, go as fast as you can. Tap the screen. What does it mean by that? Well, Duck Life Space was originally released to be an iPhone and Android game. This was, this was a phone game. And eventually, after a while of it being, Android only or something, it finally came to Steam. And that's the version that we run now, obviously. Now, another interesting fact about this game is that when it originally came to Steam, it took a long time to get levels in this game. There was actually a patch that came out before I'm doing this Let's Play now. This big patch came out, which actually made it so that you got a lot more score at the end, meaning you got a lot more levels, which means you could level up faster. So the game didn't drag out as much. And I really appreciate that. I thought that was a really good update, because these are mostly really fun games, but obviously anything is going to drag out after a while if you have to do it repetitively just to beat the game. So I think that was a smart move on their part, Simon's part, to do that. I think 18's good enough. Let's do the swimming minigame. So, some of you might know that, well. So some of you might know that there is a community of people who speedrun Duck Life games. It's a really great speedrun community. It's probably one of the friendliest that I've been in. A lot of great people. And basically, of course, we run Space as well. And if you'd like to get into Duck Life speedrunning, just by the way, we have a link to the speedrun.com page in the description below, as well as possibly a Discord link, just in case you guys want to pop in and say hello in the Discord. We got a pretty active community there. It comes and goes in bursts, I find. You know, as soon as something big is discovered, then, you know, chat explodes for a solid week, but but basically, when you speedrun this game, there are obviously going to be some minigames that give you levels really fast, and some that give you levels really slowly. Can you guess what category this minigame falls under? Yes, that would be the really slow category. We don't do this one at all when speedrunning. We completely skip this, because you can beat this first world without any of the other stats except for run. You don't need swimming or flying at all. Of course, because this is just a fun, casual playthrough, we're gonna do that, but yeah, usually don't. So, I'm not gonna pretend like I knew what I was talking about, or sort of what my commentary was like all the way back in 2012, like I said, being 6 years ago. And even though this is continuing off into the same Let's Play, it's really hard to just sort of be like, hey, here's the next part, because there's been an enormous gap. And so I'm just gonna make this sort of its own thing. I mean, it's in the same Let's Play as the other ones, but you know, this is its own thing. Also, this is another minigame that we don't do while speedrunning. Like I said, we only use the running. Now, there's another interesting mechanic that this game brought to the table, and yeah, I'll explain that when we get to it, which is during the actual races. Bugger. How many levels do we get? 12? Nice. So, on the first world, this game kind of has like Duck Life 2 caps, where in a certain world you can only get a certain amount of levels before you have to, you know, stop grinding and go to the next level, or the next world. They didn't have that in Duck Life 4 or 3, but they brought it back from the Duck Life 2 era. It's not a bad idea. It does hinder speedrunning a lot, of course, but part of the fun is finding ways around that. If speedrunning was just a game catered solely to us, then it wouldn't be any fun, because everything would be exploitable and breakable. But when you've got restrictions like you can only be level 20 in this first world, you know, it makes a challenge, it makes it interesting, and I really like that. So that's why I keep coming back to this game. That, and this game is very fun, of course. All the Duck Life games have been really fun. They're games I've been playing solely for years, and I really enjoy them. This duck I'm racing, he's having none of my shit. So, I can't remember which one of them gives you the ticket for the tournament. It's not this guy. Maybe that was the guy I beat. Now, unfortunately, the PC I'm using, I didn't realize until just now, if I plug in earbuds, the audio stops coming through OBS. So I've actually had to mute the game, which is something I didn't have to do in 2012. Somehow technology has gone backwards, and yeah, but basically I can't hear the audio, but I know that the music's good because obviously I've played the game over and over again. I really do enjoy the music in Duck Life. Duck Life 1 and 2 obviously had very basic soundtracks, but by the time they got around to Duck Life 3, they started getting a lot more music in there, a lot of good music. Ooh. Oh, these are actual... Ah, I can't just get colors? Like, if I buy this... Yeah, I like that. I'll have that. Glitch 2. We're never going to use Glitch 2, but he's gonna be here on the team. I love that. Unfortunately, I can't change my duck, which is a shame. Oh well. Let's go into the tournament. So, here's where I'm going to explain the new mechanic that they made. See this button here? Well, in the words of F-Zero, you got boost power! Yes, this is quite literally a boost option. It lets you speed ahead of the competition, but it does take up a big chunk of your energy. Just like any other Duck Life game, the 4 before it, if you run out of energy during the race over, you lose. So if you start spamming your boost, obviously you're going to die. You can usually get in about 2 boosts, depending on how long the race is. Sometimes you can only get in 1. Rarely you could probably get in 3, but that's pushing it. But obviously we're gonna win because we've maxed out all our skills. This boost is really useful for speedrunning because you can do really low levels, and then if you're really strategic with your boosts, you can zoom ahead of the competition even though you have limited amount of stats. It's really fun and useful, but there are some points where it's sort of random and it can kill a run, and it's very annoying. But hey, we won the tournament! We're off on the rocket ship to the moon. I'm gonna buy some more energy here. he's looking at him eating like, oh, I'm so hungry. Oh, no. Oh, get him out of here. I don't want to see that. Oh, what have I done? No. Oh, Jesus. It's like when you're trying to eat dinner and your dog or your cat's just looking up at you like, oh, no, don't give me that look. Oh, no, what have I done? Anyway, so here we have the second running, second swimming, and second flying game, and now we're introducing climbing. So we've got the first climbing game here. So this one, you want to make sure that you move so you don't run into the spikes, but you also got to keep moving so you don't get hit by the spikes on the back. And the treadmill is going to get faster and faster, slowly and slowly. And I'm missing all the coins. I want to see how far I can get, though. I want to try and get to 400. Do you think I can, guys? Do you think I can, guys? Do you think you... Oh my god. Do you guys think that I can get to 400? And do you guys think that I can get out a sentence? I know the answer for the second one is no, but it looks like the answer for the first one could be yes. There's the 400. Can we get to 500? Oh. 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 No, oh, just 500. Nice. You think I could get away with 34 running? Oh, I think we could. Alright, swimming 2. This one is interesting. So you basically have to click the boxes to have them fly off. Obviously the smaller ones fly further. The bigger ones don't fly as much, and physics does count. If there are 2 stacked on top of each other, it does make it harder to knock them off. So you want to click them a couple times, like that. Of course, when there's 2 stacked on top of each other, the top one can topple over and come crashing back down on you as you're moving forward. So make sure you click it in the right spot. A good strategy I use is you just leave the mouse in one spot and you click as they come to you. It works a treat, it really does. I mean, look at this. Don't bother about moving the mouse, just make sure you get the timing spot on. And if you see any double crates, try and double click. But yeah, if you do that, you can do pretty well. Now this one, I know a lot of people do not like this minigame. This is one that we actually use for speedrunning, and a lot of the people who run this game are like, oh, I wish we could not do this game. And I can see why. This game is pretty difficult. So you have to line up your shot and press the space bar just as you're lined up with the other gravity thing here? I don't really know what they are. Pad, I suppose, but there's the thing that I just showed off. A lot of the time, you'll miss like the first or second one like that, and then you'll just fly off into space. You gotta be very precise. A couple of degrees off either side, and, you know, Never seen again. Oh, this is good. Oh, now. Yes. Yes. Ah, look at this. Could I get to 500? Could I dare dream? Oh. Oh. Oh, that was going so well for a while. Oh, that was great. Alright, let's do climbing. This one is very similar to the climbing minigames of past. You just gotta climb up, watch out for the exclamation points, and not get hit by the rocks. You could say that you'll have to watch for falling rocks, except that'd be wrong, because they're not falling, they're shooting from left to right. And falling implies vertical movement, not horizontal. There you go. You've learned something today. Like, don't hit ducks with giant asteroids. Well, I say giant, these are very mini asteroids, aren't they? I mean, if they're the size of a baby chicken or duck, like, they can't be that big. Still, you wouldn't want something moving fast enough to cause a fire behind it to hit you in the back of the head, now would you, or in the face? I don't understand the purpose of this tower. This is just the tower of infinite satellites. Like, this is just a tower that you'll have to put in your homes in like 50 years time to get all the TV channels that they have. Like, new cable with all new 8,321,976,421 channels. And of course, 3 billion of them, 827 million of them are like blocked off behind a paywall that you gotta pay separately, and it's like $19.99 a month per channel. But, you know, that's this sort of tower, like, just to get all those channels. But, you know, you get some great stuff. See, in 50 years, we're gonna have Mars television, and that's what a couple of these satellites are getting, television from Mars. You know, stuff like that. Alright, I think it's time for races. I think we're good enough. I think we got the skills we need. And of course we have a lot of energy. The more energy you have, obviously the more liberal you can be with your use of the boost power. If you have like no energy, obviously you can't use much, but since we have so much energy, we could probably use 2, like so. So we're gonna verse all these robot ducks. Really, you only need to verse the one that gives you the tournament ticket, but the other ones do give you money and stuff, so it's a nice thing. Now, if you remember, Duck Life 4 took me 5.5 hours, I believe, to complete. This one will not take that long. I can be a pot! I can be, R2-D2, I could be... Nah, I don't really like any of these. I think I'll leave my duck as is. If I find a costume I really like, I will put it on, but for now, I haven't really seen one. I don't really like the robot aesthetic too much. I know everyone's probably screaming, put the R2-D2 one on, but I don't really wanna. Look at this magnificent creature, whatever's going on there. That is amazing. Can we get in a second boost, I wonder? Yeah, come on. Oh, not a lot of energy left. Ding. Apologies. Oh, what's this? Journalist, penguin with his flashy camera. Or is this stalker, duck? Because he's got like a camouflage shirt on. And he's got like this really long telescopic lens. Ugh, actually, I don't like the implications of that, duck. I'm running far away from him. I got this suit duck back, but it's a different colored duck this time. Also, yeah, we aced all of those. We didn't need to max out our levels. We did pretty well. So, the robots offer us their ship, and now we are on Mars. Yeah, so here we go. I'm gonna eat some more. Eat some more seed. Oh, get out of here. While we're doing this, I'm gonna have another quick drink. So, not actually drinking Coke. I'm drinking something called Quay Cola, which I believe is Spanish for Y cola in the Spains. And it's a 1.25 litre bottle that I got for 49 Australian cents, which I think is like 39 or something, or maybe like 40 something American cents, and like 25 pence in Britain. Like, dirt cheap, and I got like over a litre of this stuff. And I was expecting it to be like undrinkable. I've had some undrinkable sodas. If any Australians have had a brand of soda from Black and Gold, which I believe is a home brand, I don't know what store's home brand is Black and Gold, but I can tell you one thing. I had to pour that in the sink. It was disgusting. To be fair, that was about 10 years ago. Maybe they upped their game, but the one that I had 10 years ago, undrinkable. Undrinkable. Now, this minigame gets you levels fast. Like, this is insanely fast leveling if you do it right. I'm screwing up a lot, but if you don't screw up a lot, you know, you'll get a lot of levels. And this is the game that we use mostly in for the speedrunning. We use this game to get to max max running. Yeah, that's the word. This one also gives you some levels pretty fast, but we don't use this in speedrunning because there's one that gives you levels even faster with less risk, so we use that one instead. Ooh. But I do like this minigame though. It's nice to play this game casually instead of speedrunning it for once, because I get to go through minigames that, you know, in speedrunning you don't get a chance to go through. Like, I don't get a chance to play this one usually, so it's nice to be able to... It's nice to go back and play casually now and then, these games. And I think that's the same for every game that you speedrun, or just, you know, every Duck Life game. It's nice to go back and just have a chill evening, and play a Duck Life game. Just have a nice time. Can I actually use these? I can. Whoa. Oh, we're getting fancy now. Obviously you can use the keys, but you can also do this, which I find amazing. I actually had a touchscreen computer at one point in my life. I think around 2013 I had a touchscreen computer. I could literally sit there and like tap those with my actual fingers and then make a big noise that the microphone would pick up and no one would like it. But, you know, I could do it. Now this flying is going to be very familiar. This is the sort of flying that you would see sort of in Duck Life 3 and 4. Although a little different. It's the same kind of, there's a warning that there's going to be something on the top or bottom that you have to fly past, but in this one, there is a specific square that you have to go through. And it gets faster and faster, and you got to make sure that you're on the right square. It's kind of like a Mario Party minigame, honestly. What's the Mario Party 4 minigame? Booksquirm? Yeah, it's kind of like Booksquirm, in a way. I suck. We basically have to run to the one shape that's cut out before the page falls. Can you hold it down, I wonder? No, you can't. You gotta tap. I'm lucky I did that when it was going slower and I didn't just kill myself. Oh! I did that wrong. Oh, 60 exactly. Okay, that's fine. Climbing 2. Now, this one can be a little buggy. Sometimes, as you can see, you have to climb up the ladders and by holding spacebar, and when you think you're going to get to the next platform... So, you know what I said about it being buggy? Well... yeah. Oh no. Well, it proved my point. So that's a soft lock. We're actually gonna have to exit that and rerun the game. Oh my god. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Luckily it saves you progress, so no worries. Let's try that again. So, climbing. You hold down the spacebar and then you let it go right at the time where you think you'll reach the platform. It's simple maths, really. You know, the whole A plus B equals C hypotenuse sort of thing. You gotta find... they give you the platform, which is one side of the triangle, and the vertical ladder, which is the other side of the triangle, and just looking with your eyes, you just gotta see where you think the long part of the triangle would land. I've made this sound so boring. I apologize. I've compared it to maths, which is the unforgivable sin. But when it works, it's fun. So usually you'll let go of space around here when you can't see. Yeah, so that was the bug I was expecting. Sometimes when you do this, if you go slightly too far on the platform, the duck won't recognize the ladder and he'll just run right past it. But sometimes, if you're unlucky like I am, he'll just get stuck on the ladder. And then for some reason, when the timer runs out, instead of just ending like it usually would, the time will just start counting into the negatives and you'll be stuck there forever. And I don't know why this happens. All I can tell you is that it does happen. And I actually got to show it off. Oh dear, I've gone through the ladder again. Alright, well, here's the next, what is it, stat, I suppose. Jumping. Now this one, you just press space every time you want to go back down. But there is no control for going up, so you gotta time your jump right, so you're able to jump over the rock. And so you get big ones like that, where you need to really time your jump properly. And you also got ones like that, where you want to just sort of make sure you're continuously bouncing down so you don't get hit by it. I mean, what you're supposed to do is time your jump so that you're falling down by the time you get to that rock, but you can just spam the space bar and make sure that you're, stuck there. That is a small exploit, but that doesn't mean that this is easy. Obviously, the ones on the bottom are gonna get you eventually. Like that. If you're wondering, in speedrunning we don't use jumping 1. We use, I believe, jumping 2. Because this one gives you levels a bit too slowly. Or at least it does compared to the other jump minigame. And jump is not that much of a useful skill. Like, obviously it helps, and it's useful. But obviously, as well, it's not as useful as running or swimming would be, where you have to do that a lot. It's kind of like climbing in a way where, it's not really necessary. With everything maxed out, we're more than alright to have jumping as... Okay, I did not hit that minigame. I very, very clearly hit back. That's a good game. Back! There we go. Alright, oh, Nyantok. Oh my goodness. Alien cloak, pirate hat. Interesting. You can just be a fist. Should I get... How much energy do I have? 121. We'll get a bit more. No harm in it. Gives me time to grab another drink. So how are you guys today? Everyone doing good? Hopefully you are. Okay. Now this alien here, he's supposed to be an expert on jumping. As you would expect, you would want an expert on the thing that gets introduced on that planet. But, unfortunately for him, he's less of an expert and more... well, he sucks. So unfortunate for him. And of course the pirate, which is going to be good at swimming, you'd imagine, since pirate. And there we go. Very easy. If you max out your levels, you know, obviously it's a joke. Now, I believe they do intend you to use 3 different ducks for the tournaments. And, you know, you want to level up all 3 of those ducks, but you can very easily use the 1 duck. To try and stop you from doing that, they make it so that after every race, your duck's energy depletes faster and faster after every race, because obviously, if you got 1 duck doing all the races, it'll get tired. And I really like that mechanic. It's very, you know, it's realistic, it's true to life. If you have 3 people doing 3 races, and you have 1 person doing 3 races, obviously, the one's gonna get more tired. But, if you've got 3, like, fat children running against, like, Usain Bolt's still gonna win. So, you know, it's realistic. I used fat children in an analogy about racing ducks. I'm a horrible person. Also, I have to apologize if you can hear a sort of rumbling in the distance. I have the heater on because it is freezing today. It's supposed to be the start of spring. Spring was supposed to start about 4 days ago, but it's still very, very cold. So, you know, that's a shame. Oh, I saw how well you raced there. I'm holding a tournament in the next galaxy over if you want to enter. Oh, and he takes us aboard his ship into the wormhole that takes us to Terra. Now, as you can see, we were flying from Earth to Moon to Mars like real world planets, but once we hit the wormhole, now we're in Terra, a new sort of made up planet where the ducks are all these sort of feathered things. And we could be one of them too if we want. Dookie mask and Dookie coat. Oh boy, we can be that thing. We can be Sticky Toffee. Oh, amazing. We can be Yoda. And of course, we got Jeduk, Dulks, Rangers, and Wild Duck. Oh, I like that color. I wish we could just change the color of our starting duck instead of having to buy a color we like and restart the game with that. Oh well. Now, these ducks here are going to tell us the secrets of intelligence training. But before that, we got, you know, all the others. Running, swimming, flying, climbing, jumping. So, let's do that. Now, this one's interesting. This one you have to tell if the stem is going to be at the top or the bottom. If the stem's going to be at the bottom, you jump. If the stem is at the top and you jump, then you'll get stuck, and that's game over. And you'd think, oh, you just tell by the tip of the leaves here. Well, no, because see, no matter which way the stem is, up or down, the leaves are always going to point down. See, it tricks you. It tricks the brain, because your brain's like, okay, it's going to go down. I'll jump. And then, whoops, you've jumped into a trap. So you can't do that. I think it was a good design, because otherwise you could cheese this. Whoa! I'm sorry? I survived? How? What? Wow, I survived. Okay. Cool. I'll take that. I'll very happily take that. I didn't survive for too much longer afterwards, but I think I'll have 80 here, so yes. Alright, swimming. You could do this game normally, but there's a little trick to this one that speedrunners like to use. You go up, you let go of the spacebar, and then you just don't touch the controls. Look at the score. It's not based on the distance you go, but how long you survive. So even though you're just very slowly grinding your face against the dirt, your score is going up and up and up. Once you get to the top, though, the game realizes what you're doing, and the hit detection comes back in. I'm actually going to take the opportunity to reply to an important text, so don't mind me. Okay, now if you do try and like go up like that, you will still get hit on, on that. So once you've activated it, don't touch the controls or else you'll screw it up. Now this one I like. You click on these to spin them around and get to a point where the duck can enter and exit. So you get shapes like that where you can't just have it in the middle as your duck flies past. You'll have to spin it around as your duck is inside it. And I really like that. It's a thinking puzzle, and we're not even up to intelligence training yet. I say it's a thinking puzzle. There we go. I was gonna say I haven't had to click anything in a while. I just got a string of good luck though. So usually it's more like this. Yeah. Okay. I'm in the swing of it now. I'm on a roll. I've got this. One click. Yep. Oh, look at this. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. Oh, stopped. This is actually one of my favorite mini games, Climbing 3. It's a reaction thing. So you've got this really like crawling, like sprawling around vine going all over the shop, and you got to make sure that you don't hit any of these spikes. You got to press the spacebar to quickly shift from one side of the vine to the other, but because it's going around erratically in all these different shapes and everything, when it gets faster, sometimes it's hard for your brain to go, oh, it's on that side, oh, I gotta shift real quick, and that's why I really like this minigame. It's really fun. It's a good reaction minigame. If you wanna sharpen your reflexes, this is the kind of game that will do that for you. It's kind of like a rhythm game in that sense. Rhythm games are really good for sharpening your reflexes as well. This is kind of like that. Oh, yeah, see, like that. I realized I'd accidentally gone to the wrong side. Quickly switch over. See how long I can go for. I got a good feeling. Oh, damn. I didn't see that one. Okay, so jumping. I really like games like this. If any of you have seen my Let's Play of Pokepark Wii, you'll see that in that game there are these things called attractions, where you basically play some mini games with Pokemon, and the amount, how well they do is based on their attributes. Like fast Pokemon are better at the racing games, and the Apoms and Tanglers are good at these sorts of games. And this was in that game in two different ways. There was a Vine Swing for Venusaur and a Vine Swing for Tangrowth, and I got really good at those. So it's all just about finding the angle. It's kind of like the climbing game again, but this one isn't completely broken, so it's a lot more fun. So you just gotta find the angle you're gonna swing on. Oh, see, I'm really far behind now, so I want to make sure I move up a bit. That way I can get myself closer up on the platform. Oh, okay. Risking it all! And of course the platforms get thinner and thinner, and there is eventually wind, like you see here. When the leaves come on screen, that means there's wind. Oh! Which pushes your duck forward, which means you gotta change your trajectory and not go up as high as you think you'd have to go. See how I'm stopping it very low? That's because the wind is gonna push me the rest of the way. Ah! Base planted right into that. Okay, here's the intelligence training. Now this one, you need to have good reaction times as well. I'm not going to talk for this one, and you'll see why. So, I'm going to quickly explain it and then I'm going to stop. So, obviously, you see the button on the screen, you have to hit that one. If you hit the wrong one even once, it's game over. So, I'm going to stop talking for this one. And I apologize, that sounds very boring. doing too bad. Oh shit. But you get a lot of levels. Like, look at that. I hit 60 levels doing that. So in speedruns, what we do is we actually don't. There's only 2 intelligence games because the next planet is the last one you can train on. So we only ever do this one, Intelligence 1. We don't do Intelligence 2, and we actually beat the game on 80 intelligence, even though, of course, you can max out everything to 100. And, of course, yes, it is possible to beat the game having only 80 intelligence. I don't know what that... You could make that... very easily make that a joke about me. And you'd be right to do it, so go ahead. I could beat the game with only 80 intelligence, yes. So let's just do the races. I'm gonna use some boosts because why not? So yeah, what the intelligence is for is there's these wormholes, and the more intelligent you are, the faster you can navigate your way through them. So if you have really low intelligence, your duck will just stand there for a while until they eventually go through. But if you've got really high intelligence, they'll just vroom, zoom on right on through. Look at this. I don't even need to use the boosts. Don't even need to. He's got no chance. I could be mean. I could be real mean. Let's be mean. He's not even on screen anymore. Later. Ah. Well, he wasn't on screen. Okay. I reckon we're ready for the tournament. Let's get our duck. We're, let's actually have a team name. Let's call ourselves the Green... Yes. Great team name, guys. Good effort. What is this guy? What is this? I feel like that doesn't make sense without the body. They stand no chance, do they? I'm just gonna boost for the hell of it. I have the energy. If you boost, it's not going to make it so you have even less energy on the next one. So don't worry about having to be sparing with your boosts. If you've got the energy for it in that race, then you can do it. You don't have to worry about the next race. It'll decrease it by a certain amount no matter what. And I say that because you probably think, oh, that's obvious. Of course it only does it at a certain amount. But sometimes with Duck Life games, the values for like leveling up and races and what level you need to be is actually kind of interesting to explore. I don't have the technical know-how to really dig into a game file and like sort of grab that information, but someone who does, you can find a lot of interesting stuff about that. There's a lot of cool stuff about Duck Life. Like, did you know that I think most, if not all, the games have a hidden goose in it? Or like a weird version of the duck. Grab the Flash download for Duck Life 2, findable on speedrun.com, wink wink, description below. Grab the copy of that, and then just stretch the window, and you'll see it. It's real bizarre. He's just sort of there in the corner. Squeak, squeak, squeak. But there's a lot of interesting stuff about Duck Life. Like, in Duck Life 2, there's actually an auto-leveler off-screen that you can't see. It's crazy. Unbelievable! You just beat our strongest race- Oh, he cheated! Capture him! The tournament ship is actually alive, and it carries our duck off into an unknown land. An Iceland. Where is he? There, threw him real far. You can't interact with this duck, he just sort of sits there at the shop, very ominously. But don't worry, he will come into play later. Oh, come on, I'm just trying to get my duck over here so I can feed him, but it's not going very well. Again, the duck is just staring there all glittery-eyed like... Ah, alright, this is cruel. Come on. There you go. Well... He didn't even get one full one. Okay, I'll be nice. Come on, there you go. They're just virtual ducks, why do I care so much? So here we go, the final set of minigames. The 5th running, swimming, flying, the 4th climbing, the 3rd jumping, and the 2nd of 2 intelligences. I hate this minigame, but we do it in speedruns. God knows why. So basically, pillars are gonna come down, and you have to try and land on ones that aren't gonna completely crush you. See, the one in front of me is gonna crush me, so I'm gonna play it safe and stay there. Oh, nope, I found one. Sometimes you can just run into a string of bad luck and just not be able to find one. Oh. And of course it gets faster! Oh, I was trying to go back, but I couldn't. Damn it. That's a safe one. There's a safe one there as well, but I didn't want to risk doing 2 jumps. Ah! I suck at this. I've lost the arrow keys. There we go. There's one there. Oh. Yep. Just stay there. We'll be okay. We'll be alright. Oh no. Oh. Holy shit. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, that was a run of bad luck. 99? Oh, get out of here. Alright, let's just hold down the button and see how long we can go. Oh. We got one safe. Well. Okay, swimming. So, you gotta click your duck and drag it around so that you don't get attacked by the incoming sharks. The sharks, of course, will come up more frequently and be faster, but of course, you can just do this. Oh no, you can't because I screwed up. Oh no, I can't do the trick now. Oh no. Oh my god. I can't do the trick. There we go. There it is. So, if you fling your duck far enough off screen, they just can't get to you. And one of the sharks is just... Oh! Another shark just popped up. They don't know what to do, so they just sort of stand there. They're all starting to... One of them's upside down. What's going on? Oh no, they're all spawning in upside down now. Oh god! Can you see up on the very top left? You can see like little bits of shark just above the score there. Some of them are just despawning now. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna give them a fighting chance. Come in and scoop all these coins. Even though those sharks aren't mobile, if you do run into them, they'll still get to you. But that's something you can do in speedruns. We do that a lot. They just all freeze. They don't know what to do. They just all freeze. The programming doesn't understand. Which is hilarious. But now you've got all these shark hazards in your way. So this is now just hard mode. Oh, 99. Whoop. There we go. Okay, flying 5. Now what's interesting about this... So I'm actually gonna kill myself here to prove it. Now, look at the screenshot here. There's a duck, not in a spaceship, shooting out of its beak projectiles. but when you go into the game, your duck is in a ship. And shooting projectiles out of the ship. I don't know if that's a screenshot from like a beta design of this minigame before they sort of implemented the ship. But it is a little interesting tidbit to note that, you know, that's there. So, this minigame is you hold down the mouse button to go up, let go to fall down. It's the classic copter style of control. We've also seen this in Duck Life 3's, one of Duck Life 3's swimming, or oh yeah, it was also in one of Duck Life 4's swimming minigames as well. We saw this sort of thing happen. And I liked those. Unfortunately, this one doesn't give, crap. This one doesn't give you levels too fast. It can be a bit of a grind, and sometimes you'll just find yourself in situations where you cannot get out. So you're kind of up to the... You're kind of at the mercy of the RNG. But that's alright. These ones with icicles on them, not these like hollow meteorite ones, but the ones with like icicles on them, you can't actually destroy them. You can shoot them, and that will either speed them up or slow them down. And that will help you escape them, but yeah, you can't actually destroy them. Nope. Yeah, I couldn't get out of that. I think we'll be okay with 97 flying. We don't need to do any more. Climbing. Now, this one's interesting, because you just stay on this short little rope. You don't have to climb up or climb down, you just have to survive for as long as you can. And you just gotta avoid the rocks. Get the money if you want. At this point, I feel like you don't really need the money, so I just avoid every sign. And eventually, as you go, the rope starts swinging more and more. Whoa. I don't know how far the rope can swing, because usually I die at that point. But imagine you could get the rope to swing pretty far. It would be interesting to see. Also, you notice how the snowballs are kind of affecting the rope somewhat. I feel like if you stay at the bottom, you'll get the rope to swing more, but I don't know if that's how that works. I kind of feel like doing that Yoshi Story thing where you swing left and right and left and right in time with the rope to get it to swing faster, but that's not how that works. Oh, that was a lot. Yeah, we found 93. Alright, jumping. Now, I hated this minigame in Duck Life 4. It was probably the worst Duck Life 4 minigame, because it took so long, and basically it judged it on how high up you were. So you could be playing this game for minutes and minutes, but you'd fall down to the bottom and then die, and then you'd only get like one level. They fixed it in this one, and I'm very happy that they did. They fixed it so it's not about the height you get anymore, it's just about how long you survive, and I think that is a much better way of doing this. So, that's something I'm really glad that they fixed. There's a few things like that in Space that, you know, they fixed a lot of the things Duck Life 4 did. Duck Life 4 is really nice, really ambitious, and, you know, probably one of my favorite Duck Life games, casually, is Duck Life 4. Speedrunning, not so much, but casually, I think Duck Life 4 is still my favorite. But Space went and fixed a lot of the problems that it had. I think I just like 4 more for the nostalgia factor of it, but I think if you went and picked up Space as sort of the first Duck Life game, I think you would have a real fun time playing it, and it might be your favorite. I don't know. What is your favorite Duck Life game, by the way? Let me know in the comments. I want to see what people's favorite Duck Life game is. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4 Space, or the spin-off game Treasure Hunt? I'm really curious to know. Oh, by the way, there's a spin-off Duck Life game called Duck Life Treasure Hunt. If you haven't heard of that one, just Google it. It's one of the free Flash ones. I'm doing really well. I'm probably going to kill myself here, though, because I'm almost certain we have 100. Yeah. And now, intelligence. Which side has more? and you gotta do this as fast as you can. It doesn't get you many levels very quickly, and of course, it's very easy to screw up, because me personally, I suck at games like this. Bomberman Land Wii kind of gave me a bit of an edge on this, but even then, I still just naturally suck. I don't know what they mean if they have red eyes. I don't know if they still count as one, or what. Or they count as -1. Let me read the instructions. Ignore the alien ducks. They don't count. Okay. Okay, so if they have red eyes, don't count them. I thought they might have been like -1 or something, but if they're alien ducks, they don't count. We haven't seen any alien ducks yet, though. Oh, that one's got 4 alien ducks, but I still... yeah. Oh, that one still had more. Ah, they tricked me. They tricked me. I like how sometimes they slide around and sometimes they're just completely still. But they move with, like, proper physics. Like, if one knocks into it, the other one will start moving around. I really like that. I like that this has, like, realistic ice sort of curling physics for a silly duck counting minigame. It shows that a lot of attention went into this, and fuck, I suck at it. This actually might be my least favorite, the jumping one. The jumping one's my least favorite in 4, but I think in space, my least favorite is this intelligence game. I know a lot of people are saying, well, just count them, but I don't want to, man. Just let me play my video games in peace. I think it's this one. Yes. Besides, you only get 3 seconds, so if you can't count faster than in 3 seconds, then you're eventually going to run out of time, so... Ooh. Now we're on a roll. Now we're on a roll and it doesn't matter. I've probably already got level 100. So, oh my lord. That's a lot of ducks. Okay, I think we're good. Let's just race all these guys. Now this is the one that'll give me the ticket. We're gonna verse a really, cool duck. No, I'm not gonna start the ice puns. We'll be here all day. Now he's got really good flying, but of course, we have boost power, so it doesn't really matter. Goodbye. There's actually 3 ducks here. Ah, here's the intelligent duck. Now this head, yeah, this head really doesn't make sense without this body. Here you can tell it's just supposed to be like a woolly yeti sort of duck, I suppose. But without the body, it just looks like furry Mozart, I don't know. Like a judge's wig got way out of hand. I don't know why, I'm sorry. You could see when he had his head moved up, that's a white duck under there. Is there anything I want in the shop? I can have a brick hat and a brick body. I can be Lego Duck. That's amazing. Look at I love that design there. Ice levels always have really nice looking graphics, because you've always got like the glistening ice, like the starry sky, and the sort of like the borealis, like the colors in the sky sort of look going on. There's a lot of beautiful imagery you can do with ice worlds, and even in a game like this, just like a random interesting indie game like this, they don't slack. It's really beautiful to see. This game's really cheap on Steam, by the way. You can get it for less than $5, I believe. So, you know, if you're a fan of the Duck Life games you've been playing, you can play 1 to 4 for free. So, if you want to think about buying Duck Life Space as basically buying the Duck Life pack of like all 5, then really you're getting each game for less than $1. So, I think that's a really good deal, personally. But I would recommend people go and buy this game because it's fun. You know, it's a really cool game, and they've done nothing but improve the game as the series has gone on. And you know, Wix Games and Simon Wixon have done a really great job with this series for the years and years that it's been going on, and I really appreciate it. So, thumbs up. You can't see the thumbs up because this is audio only, but you know, the thought was there. Oh, he just made it. Look at this tourist duck. He's got his Starbucks cup, his camera, and his quiffy little haircut. I like that hairstyle. I want that one. Wow, he's a good swimmer. Holy crap. Like, I've got max swim, but oh, jeez. So, the computers can actually get above maximum in a stat. Obviously, they counteract this by making one of their stats obviously really bad. You can see this duck has like no running, but he has over the max in swimming. Completely bullshit, but kind of funny. I really like it, and of course it's not unfair, so that's the big thing. You might be a worthy opponent. Let's race! So, before we get onto the final planet, not only do we have to complete the tourney, but we have to beat this guy. And if we lose to this guy, not only do we have to verse him again, but we have to do the whole tournament again. So, don't lose to him. Of course, he's just as easy as the tournament ducks. He's a bit of a pushover. Don't worry about him. If you've got anywhere near max stats, he will not be a challenge at all. In fact, we can probably get a second boost in. Yeah, we can. You may have beat me in a race, but I'm keeping the crown! He runs onto his spaceship, but this time we've caught onto it. And they have taken us to the final planet, Pyro. So there's no training here. You have to rely on the skills that you've got. So, let's verse him. To get in here, we need 3 keys. What does that remind me of? It's kind of like the dynamite. Nah. Must be hallucinating. I will enjoy climbing to the top of a volcano and seeing you fall. Well, wow. Okay then. It's a rather evil duck. Wow, I've been playing these games for a while. I didn't realize there was a duck that just said, "I want to watch you burn alive." Basically. Now, each of these ducks has one stat that's like incredibly overpowered. This duck has incredibly overpowered climbing stats. And he also has very overpowered jumping stats. 2 stats that usually don't mean too much, so of course with your better running stats, he's a pushover. These other 2 aren't really pushovers. This guy kind of is a little. Now keep in mind that when we do speedruns of this game, we do not have anywhere near max skills. Most of our skills are at like level 90 or 80. So these guys can be very difficult. You have to time your boosts just right, on the right optimal places. And that sounds crazy, but there are optimal places to boost. If you just boost at any random spot, like, you'll lose. So, we're gonna boost here. And that was a bad boost, because we didn't get the full boost. He stopped to jump. So that was a bad boost. Now this guy has, pretty mediocre stats, but his swimming was, through the roof. And... oh. I got enough energy. We're good. But, by far, the hardest racer is the Flash over here. We are going to... whoa. We'll be a bandito. Yeah, sure, why not? I like that. Okay, so, we gotta beat the Flash. Here we go. Now, this duck is hyper intelligent. None of his other stats are that great, like they're sort of 80s or 90s, but he has above max intelligence, which can be very, very dangerous. this is the hardest duck. Because look how long it takes us. And that's on max intelligence. Look at that, he's right behind us. Do you see how far back he was at the start compared to the end? Watch, I would recommend watching a speedrun. Watch like Chag John or someone along those lines on the top 2 or 3. Watch them do that race and see how like crazy close the race is. It's insane. But anyway, with these 3 keys, I can fly through everything with my superpower suit. Look at your bare feet. I pity you. So we have to verse a duck that can float through walls. Seems fair, right? We're chasing him. Oh, his leg, he's tripped. The crown is bouncing away. And here we go. It's a race to capture the crown. Who will win? So this one, it's not down to your stats at all. You just have to do this using the arrow keys. You have to move and jump. It's a lot better. It's a more fleshed out final boss than Duck Life 4. It controls a lot better. Oh, apparently you don't have to get crushed by those. You just have to hit the tops of them. I didn't know that. It's a lot more of a full boss and more a fledged out boss than in Duck Life 4, and it also controls better. Of course, in a speedrun, you really want to get all of this done without dying because they're very competitive times, but in casual play, it doesn't matter if you screw up because the champion duck's a joke. You're never gonna see him. Like he's very slow, so you don't have to worry. This fight isn't as climactic as the Duck Life 4 one. That's the only problem I have with this one. It's not as close and like impactful as 4. I know you can get him to moon jump in this, moonwalk in this. I can't remember how. I think if we jump like that and then, yes, there we go, there we go. Aww. We are going to moonwalk to the crown. We are going to do this in style. Yes. There we go. Moonwalking to the crown. Congratulations. You win. Amazing. You got the crown. Now all trainers can train you beyond limited. What does this mean? Well, you can basically keep going up to level, I think 255 is the max, or maybe 200. I'm not too sure, but you can go well past 100, and it does count. So your duck can go vroom, super fast. It's great. And if you guys want to see that, I recommend you guys buy the game and max out all those skills and just see how fast your duck can go. But I think I'm going to stop the Let's Play here, or at least this part, the part of Duck Life Space. And yeah, I can now say thank you for watching the Duck Life Quintilogy. It's been really fun. I've been recording this with different software. I usually record with the Elgato, so I don't know how the audio came out. I apologize if I'm too loud over the sound of the game, or if I'm too low over it. I guess we won't know. But since I've been recording for an hour and 10 minutes, I'm just going to have to try and salvage what I can, because I don't want to re-record 70 minutes of work. But I've been the Glitch64. Thanks for holding out for 6 years for another part for the Duck Life Let's Play. And, I might do Treasure Hunt next, so stay tuned for that. And, yeah, bye guys!